Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz, and this is Ron's Bank Shot Breakdown. We're going to go over 4 college basketball games for Monday, February 13th, 2023. Now, if you like what you see, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to put your college basketball picks in the comments section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, including my $15 Bank Shot best bet, you can find those at the Premium Picks tab at pickdawgz.com. Alrighty, let's get into it. Here are the games for Monday in college hoops. First up, we go to the ACC as Miami takes on North Carolina. This one's going to be 7 o'clock Eastern. It's going to be on ESPN. I was really concerned with Miami's defense in its last game against Louisville. We know Louisville having a really bad year this year. They're ranked outside the top 300 in KenPom this season, but they were able to score 85 points in that game against the Hurricanes. And Miami still scored 93 themselves and won that game by 8 points, but they did not come close at all in covering the number. It was basically a pretty close game, and Miami was only down by Louisville was only down by 1 point at halftime. So not what you want to see for a Miami team that was favored by 20 plus points in that game. And now you go on the road against North Carolina, who has to be feeling pretty good about his chances going into this game because they're coming off a game that was probably their best offensive performance of the conference season, where they scored 91 points against Clemson in a 20-point victory over the Tigers. And it's a solid Clemson team that started the season 10-1 in conference play. Sure, they've lost 3 straight, but still a very impressive win for a North Carolina team that was waiting for that breakout performance, especially from the perimeter. I mentioned that North Carolina last year was 60th in the country in three-point shooting. This season, they've really struggled from beyond the arc, but in that game, they made 15 three-pointers. They shot 45% from the perimeter. So really, promising stuff for the Tar Heels offensively. The defense was solid in that game, and I think at home here, I think the Tar Heels are going to win this game and cover the number in the end. It's a pretty reasonable number because Miami is a good team. They have a good record, and they're ranked, in the AP polls, but I was really concerned with that defensive performance with Miami, and they haven't really played too well on the road this season. They lost to Georgia Tech, NC State, Duke, and Pittsburgh, all on the road in conference play. So give me North Carolina in this one. I'm going to lay the points. Next up, we go to the SWAC as Jackson State takes on Bethune-Cookman. This one is going to be 7:30 Eastern. Bethune-Cookman has lost 2 straight games. Jackson State has won 2 straight, including a nice double-digit victory on the road against Florida A&M last time out. It was a win and a cover for Jackson State. And you look at Bethune-Cookman's last game against Alcorn State, one of the better teams in the conference, and losing that game by 2 points, 76-74, is not too shabby on the surface. But when you look at the numbers and you look at the fact that Bethune-Cookman shot 13 of 27 from 3 in that game, 48.1% from the perimeter, and they still lost the game by 2 points, it's really concerning because what happens when you don't shoot 48%, which you're not going to shoot 48% very often, even though you're a pretty solid three-point shooting team that was still 12% better than your season average. So I'm really concerned with Bethune-Cookman. I think they're scoring a lot of unsustainable buckets these days, and their defense is still not good enough. You're playing a Jackson State team that A, already beat you this season, and B, is in pretty good form. They're a very good defensive team. They're strong on the offensive and defensive glass. They force plenty of turnovers. I think this matchup benefits Jackson State too much. So give me Jackson State. I'm going to lay the points. Next up, we go to the Colonial as Drexel takes on Hofstra. This one's 7 o'clock Eastern. I've been impressed with both of these teams as of late. Hofstra is on a nice 7-game win streak. They beat Charleston and Towson during that stretch, and Drexel has won 3 of its last 4 games, and they've beat Towson, Delaware, and Charleston in that stretch. So, both teams playing arguably their best basketball of the season. I think this is going to be a close game. I like Drexel's defense. I think they are the better defensive team in this matchup. And sure, their offense is ranked 244th in adjusted offensive efficiency, but they're getting pretty good looks offensively, getting pretty good open shots. They take care of the basketball. They're very good on the offensive glass. And Hofstra this season, one of the worst rebounding teams in the conference and really in the country. 333rd in the nation in offensive rebounding percentage, 317th in defensive. So Drexel should be able to get those second chance looks and hold Hofstra to 1 shot per trip down the court. I think it's going to be a close game, pretty low-scoring game as well. Not something we're used to seeing from Hofstra in their games, really good offense, but I think we're going to see a close one, and the points are going to be pretty valuable in my opinion. So give me Drexel and the points. And the final game we're going to talk about for Monday's card in college basketball, it's going to be also in the Colonial as Hampton takes on Elon. This one, 9 o'clock Eastern on CBS Sports Network. Elon's playing its best basketball of the season, that's for sure. They've won 4 of their last 5 games, and even before those wins, they were competitive against some of the tougher teams in the conference like UNC Wilmington and Towson. And, they've picked up some wins against some of the weaker teams in the conference, Stony Brook, Northeastern, William & Mary. They also have a nice win over Drexel, though, and you're playing a weak team in this matchup against Hampton, a team that's only had 5 Division I college hoops wins this season. They only have 1 true road win. They're 6-20 overall, and they've struggled on the road. You you look at their defense in the last few games, they've given up 80-plus points in each of those losses, 83 to Norfolk State, 86 to Towson, and 83 last time out to Charleston, while Elon's defense has really stepped it up. I mean, they held Drexel to 58 points, they held Stony Brook to 55, William and Mary to 55 as well. This is a very good Elon defense, at least in the last few games, and the offense is getting it done on the other end as well. I'm going to take Elon. I'm going to lay the points. They're in too good a form for me to fade them in this spot. And that's it. Those are the games for Monday in college basketball. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. And don't forget to put your college basketball picks in the comments section below. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at Pick Dawgz Premium. As always, this is Ron Romanelli. Good luck.